Usually it's the back and forth. You'll kind of force one picker ban for yourself, but we're not going to see that. And they feel that it's going to be okay to give them Kevin. They did find that they could push back at one point in the game, but do they want to funnel into that again?
This kind of says, like, how stubborn is CLG right now? Because Alternate had a lot of success with Mundo and Shyvana. And if CLG doesn't pick Shyvana here, I feel like Alternate has no reason to not do the same thing. Maybe CLG thinks that because Leona is off the table, they won't be able to get their initiations. But Leona's missing a lot of her ultimates last game. Jree was not having high percentage plays. It was the Gragas and the Shyvana and the Mundo for Alternate that really carried them through. And none of those things have been taken away by CLG.
And even if they take Shyvana, Araneae still has his lead, something left up from last picks and bans, because Doublelift, I guess Doublelift and Aphromoo really felt more of the pain from Leona than they did a complete game Mundo.
And they're just messing around with this. How much sway does Doublelift and Aphromoo have on this team? And they've went for the Shyvana, which is a smart choice.
We'll have to see. Now up to Araneae. There's no reason. I guess he would or wouldn't pick his jungler. I don't feel that Dexter and him use really the same junglers.
Dexter and Araneae, it's hard to say. There was definitely a Jarvan thing for Dexter last year in the European split, and mainly Vi for Araneae.
Right.
So he could always go back to Vi if he wants to, but I like the fact that he's taken Jinx away from Doublelift.
We'll see. Aphromoo losing possibly his Thresh this time, so
alternate
alternate with momentum, take away what they're feeling already good on right now for the matchups.
What's interesting here is Alternate did so well in the bottom lane against the Jinx and the Thresh
dominance
of CLG.
You put it well when you said that first kill gave them the idea that they could do it over and over.
Exactly. Yeah. And the fact that they've taken them away now from CLG is a little strange, because they kind of proved that they could beat it. But now they may as well just prove they can beat something else.
It's almost like a battle of sides.
Yeah. They're like, well, you played us with that? We'll play it with that.
We'll still wait. And CLG, it's a little slower this time. Oh, wow. You know what?
They're trading champions now.
Yeah.
They're
coming into the tournament, I was really hoping somebody would play Tristana, because nobody has lately. And I'm excited that somebody picked Tristana.
Tristana wasn't on Doublelift's tier of 80 carries.
No.
He didn't have him high up. He's lied to us.
Yeah.
This would be a late game pick for Doublelift. Tristana has power early and late, but a large lack of power in the mid game.
Yeah, I feel like that's going to be a 2v1 lane, or they may just find the same thing that happened last time. Looking at a little bit of AD on this side, we have seen that Syndra is in the playlist. We have not seen her played, though, for quite some time in NA.
No, I would like to see a Syndra here from Kerp, because he could definitely keep Gragas in bay and be a bit of a lane bully, actually, which would play all into Alternate strategy, kind of what they won with last game, is get control of mid lane, get control of the jungle, and then start roaming. And Syndra is a champion that can actually do that to Gragas.
Vi still slippery enough to counter in your jungle and get herself out. And looks like those two are going to be locked in, so Alternate definitely mixing up the champion pool a little bit, as CLG looks more to steal that away.
I really wonder what the last pick from Aphromoo here is. He thinks that Karma is strong against Thresh in these situations. It might leave CLG a little lacking in the actually, it would fit quite well with this team composition. You could speed up the tanks, he could peel for Doublelift. I think it's that or Lulu, I think, is what he's probably trying to decide between.
Aphromoo does like to be a bit aggressive on his supports. You can do that with Karma.
Especially early. The Mantrid Q, you can just fire that in the face of a Thresh hook and come on top.
Doublelift still holds on to that cleanse, too.
He's taking his time. Yeah, it's going to be a Lulu.
Oh, I haven't seen Lulu in quite some time either. He has 10 seconds to choose this one. It's really all up to him. Last time they left mid lane, now they're leaving the support. So everybody they kind of knew what they wanted to do.
They picked so many of the early ones really fast. And then Aphromoo like, yeah, I'm going to make you wait.
Actually, is Dexter going to jungle? Oh,
they could swap those if they wanted to.
Yeah, because I was going to say they all picked for themselves, but 1 and 2 didn't. Wait, why didn't 1 and 2? Because they can. So maybe they did.
Hey, Olaf can definitely jungle as well.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who would have guessed it? All the top laners can jungle, except for Vi, not very good top laner. Looking at these team comps entirely, regardless of what CLG tries to do, it's a tank buddy system with Doublelift as well, so it's not nearly as much poke. And I look at Alternate, and they are still going for lane domination, but this time they have more of a late game punch. if CLG tries to stretch the game, they're definitely going to have Jinx as well, who can almost go toe-to-toe with Tristana.
I like it. This Jinx is, Jree still has pretty much what he played on last time. He's going to have early aggression, and they're going to be able to get kills in the early game. Oh, I wasn't seeing. No, he is running teleport on Mundo. So they may try to 2v1 because Tristana's not the best dual lane.
Like, Kevin did very well last game. I think it would be doable for a swap, but Aphromoo really likes getting aggressive in the first couple levels with Lulu.
That's true.
And Doublelift also loves to 2v2 duo lane. I wouldn't expect a swap, but we might see it because a lot of it can just be guessing where to go.
Right. We'll see what they do for each other. But don't forget, remember the Battle of the Atlantic continues tomorrow with North America's XDG, the team formerly known as Vulcan, taking on the resurgent Gambit Gaming. And it's not a game to miss.
Yeah, and just a reminder that starts tomorrow, which is Saturday at 11 a.m. Pacific and 8 p.m. Central European time. We'll be starting at the same time all week.
It's going to be good.
Well, next 3 days.
Consistent. Yeah, that's true.
Until the 22nd of December.
And then we just rock out the entire spring split.
Merry Christmas. Yeah.
So
And
we
it's
are
Christmas
heading,
time.
holidays. Everybody loves it. Heading into the matchup, the teams facing each other, pitted up right there. Alternate versus CLG. Alternate looking to close out the Battle of the Atlantic with +1 more point on the side of Europe. CLG looks to thwart that here and keep this series alive.
And we have a different trinket in the works this time. Araneae has went with the sweeping lens instead of the warding totem right now. We'll see if that can come into play. I always find that the sweeping lens is very hard to use early on in the game because you throw down a sweeper, they see it, and you go away. But they all saw Dexter.
I feel like he invaded with the warding trinket, right? I feel like you'd have the sweeper when you invaded, so maybe he'll actually play a lot different in the jungle. We'll have to keep an eye on that.
Well, if you invade with the sweeper, you get to sweep on top of where you invaded to make sure you're not standing on a ward, which can be a little bit of safety.
Right.
I think they would have done that if they'd made it into the blue buff without getting spotted. But because Dexter was playing some defense, I think we're going to see a standard defensive line like we did last time.
We've seen Nintendo Dex play a lot of Olaf jungle as well. Seems like this Dorn's Blade is the thing to do. Some Sylvana's doing it.
Yeah, Olaf loves going double Dorns early. He has so much just straight up damage early on in the game, and it helps him clear a little bit faster. He's not worried about the sustain early.
So it looks like we will get this lane swap going back and forth. Doublelift doesn't want to get that Tristana taken out. Not the most powerful ADC early, but he will be the one to ramp up on that U power curve towards the end of the game. Looks like it's just going to be the personal sentries here, nobody getting too aggressive.
And could Alternate be trying the same trick 2 games in a row?
Oh,
Aha! No. No trick this time.
We have found you. But I do believe they know they will get the 2v2 matchup now. So I don't think Doublelift's going to like that very much. The junglers will begin their route. We got Biscuits in the mid lane, and that's our featured matchup. So we'll keep an eye on it. It was that Nidalee versus Gragas last game. Now it's Kerp versus Link, Syndra versus Gragas.
Absolutely. And just in case you guys were wondering and not listening in champion selection, CLG is on the red side because it was selected in game 1 and 3 for them. They wanted to be red side. In game 2, Alternate had the choice, and they picked blue. So every game will be on this side.
It's not a Zenith Blade, but it still is a long-range grab, and they have taken Doublelift to 50% health here. And this isn't terrible. That's going to happen. There's not much you can do about getting hit in the face with Tristana Lulu just in the beginning. So they're dealing with it.
Yeah, and the more hooks that land for Alternate, the better.
That's bad.
Jree's pretty powerful with these. 1 for 2 now. Couple jukes there by Doublelift. He needs to do that early because they missed the level 2 jump right now. Since Jree and Creaton push that lane early, it means they get the upper hand early. Let's see if Dexter sneaks his way around that ward.
Araneae still to his jungle. Dexter, he's got good movement on this one. Jree is going to be on the backside. Looks like he's telling Creaton, we need to get in a better position here. Let's get lateral to each other, and they are safe.
Sometimes luck just hits the wrong way. When Dexter walked down to where it was just pinged there, he's saying that's warded. It's not warded anymore because the ward died as he was walking into it. If he waited 5 more seconds, it would have been an unsuspecting gank, and it may have even given them the kill. But that's now the 2nd game in a row, I'd say, where Dexter has kind of been spotted around a little bit and puts himself behind the pacing of Araneae.
And it looks like it gave Araneae a little time to hang around too. Went for another Wraith. Now he's going to invade the jungle knowing that he was topside. So being safe and very nicely played here as Araneae goes for the Wolves. going to be there. Probably just spawn. Lucky him.
More smart counter jungling by Araneae. He's done this in both games, using the smite to make sure he doesn't AoE everything down, leaves one pathetic little 8 gold wolf up, and gets out of there. What's Nien trying to do?
Interesting. Nien going top. Feels like he's pushed in Kevin enough here to draw the jungler down and figure out that he's not there. So a little bit of wasted time on both sides because Nien doesn't get much.
Yeah,
This
but he
could be
doesn't
bad.
see Araneae right here. This could be a lined up gank. He sees him now. Where you go?
Oh, no, the ward's outside the bush.
Hey!
Oh, Nien taking some damage. There's the slow. How's the homework, says Kevin. And they're going to put a few more to the backside. Is there an ignite to come out? There is not. The flash goes in. Too many minions. And it looks like Nien is going to be all right. But Kevin didn't take too much damage.
Yeah, Nien really took his time with that flash. He was hoping to not burn it. He was very mindful that Kevin didn't have ignite. Otherwise, he would have flashed much earlier. Even so, it was a sloppy rotation by Nien, and that's why he had to burn the flash.
Looking at that matchup, only 30 to 25 in CS, so even with the harassed Doublelift, still keeping in range, and you're always expected to have more CS than a Tristana due to that E explosive shot passive farming. So, doing all right in that lane.
Farm that way.
Right.
Wonder if Kevin's going to get a little overzealous in this lane. Found a friend. He's not.
That's just him. There's no ward there. He said, you know what? Spidey sense. So clearing out Dexter, having a little bit more trouble. There's always knowledge of Dexter on the map for alternate. It's got to be a pain in the butt for him.
What's interesting is because Dexter was actually in the same league of alternate, they've spent so long playing against him.
Yeah.
Sure, he's slightly different gank pass in the new season. It's not like what Dexter will be like against all the other American teams,
right,
where people haven't played against him before. Alternate's very experienced with where Dexter goes.
Also have to consider how much these lanes here are being pushed up. It looks like they're going to be able to get a gank bottom. They may just be reading it that easily. Top lane now being hugged up by Araneae here. Looking for a possible entry on a 3v2 gank. But it looks like the safety by CLG as they back. And Kerp actually pushed Link out of mid lane. We'll have to see how he does when coming back with a pink and a green.
Well, Syndra has the upper hand on Gragas if he gets level 6 first.
Oh, yeah. And he is, yeah.
Yep,
wow.
and that's why Link went back right there, because he needed the gold to pick up a Chalice of Harmony, and that Chalice of Harmony would hopefully save him if Kerp tries to burst him down. Kerp, since he was able to wait a little longer, gets boots as well, so that's the edge he's been able to get because he played that lane properly.
So we'll see how the farm goes. Still to that mid lane as it is our matchup. Kerp is going to be winning a bit on this one. He was beating Link, I believe, by about 10 to 15 minutes by about 20 CS. So keep an eye on that. The gold still quite even. I believe that was in Vision.
They want to get a Mundo. Tower diving Kevin here. All three of them are going to have to do quite well. Kevin's going to pop his ultimate almost immediately.
Oh, he is actually heading away from the turret right now. He does not want to give Link this assist, but it is inevitable. And they are able to get first blood in the bottom lane. Link being the first one to roam in this game.
Yeah, and there wasn't too much of a push back towards the mid turret there by Kerp. He's going to try to catch Gragas in transit here.
Oh, I thought he was going to wait, hit him with Scattered and Unleashed Power. It probably would have been enough being Syndra, but it doesn't look like he's giving up on that hope just yet.
He doesn't realize he was spotted by a ward in the river. He's got to get out of there before trying to steal that blue.
He knows now. The ward goes over, but that almost makes him safer because they know they're going to try for it, and he's going to give himself a bit of vision. Try to steal this away nice and cheekily.
He wants to be able to grab it, but
no deals.
Link was able to spike it down. So CLG is the ones that made the first successful maneuver this time. They didn't get tricked by any brush tactics from Alternate, and they were able to go around and get that kill. And to get back to our featured matchup. It hasn't really played out like I thought it would. Last season in North America, Link was a very dominant laner, but Kerp has actually been pushing him around a little bit.
Yeah.
And it was actually Link transitioning fairly well into the mid game on Nidalee that helped keep CLG into that, which is something he was weak at last year. So it's almost like Link's skills have swapped around, whereas Kerp, in his first competitive experience in mid lane, has just dominated. Not only did he beat Link in lane, he also won the game for his team at the end of it with the kick-ass double kill barrel combo.
Yeah, that was a little ridiculous. Still kind of wrapping my head around that right now. Doublelift He loves to put a hole in his pockets with money. He's sitting on about 2,000 gold right now to the 1,100 on the other side, but I think that's their entire point of the Tristana Lulu lane. Save Doublelift when he needs it, let him farm until late game. Because they saw the result last time. Doublelift was in a better position.
Doublelift right now is having a better time farming than he did in the last game.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't seen Araneae's gank yet, though. And level 6 ganks from Vi usually show what person alternate wants to go for.
It's true. A lot quicker from Araneae last time. So with this 6 now, we'll see if he makes himself present in the lanes. He is going to be walking through a ward into that mid, and all of his lanes but bottom are quite pushed up. So maybe the go on Nien that they're looking for.
Yeah, well, at least Araneae's mid lane, Kerp, is doing quite well. Again, he's 20 CS up on
Yep.
him. And he doesn't necessarily need to help that lane. But the way Kerp is pushing it as well, it's not an easy lane for Araneae to gank. Actually, if I was Araneae right now, I wouldn't know where to go. It's a tough decision to make at this point in the game. There's not many places for him to actually gank because the mid lane is always pushed back.
Yep.
Nien is saving his ultimate to escape potential Vi ganks, and they don't have that much lockdown in that lane aside from just what Vi can bring. And then Doublelift and Aphromoo are also playing extremely passive. So it seems like Araneae is making the right call here, despite being level 6 and now 7 on Vi, just trying to farm.
This doesn't get any easier for her as it comes up to the objective. Once they start rotating those lanes down, Gragas still has an upper hand at a dragon fight. Olaf now, everybody's up to ultimate level. They have a pretty good idea of what should happen right now, actually.
And the timing of this couldn't be more unfortunate for Ultimate. Right as Araneae was trying a gank on the opposite side of where Link was roaming to, it's a dragon being taken straight by CLG. And no ward coverage either, so a clean dragon from CLG.
I did not think it was going to happen that fast. I expected a quick tower pressure in the top lane with a 3v2, but very well played. 10 minutes making that nice for them, and the first real gold lead that we've seen, but it's not helping out too many people. The BF sword finally brought out by Doublelift. He increases a little bit in power, but still nothing they can use to get kills in lane 1.
No, and this is the dip in the game right now for Doublelift. Around level 7 or 8, Tristana starts getting quite weak, and he's not even doing the Blade of the Ruined King Tristana to help augment his weak middle game. He's going all about the late game. Doublelift's going to have an Infinity Edge and maybe even a Zeal and Last Whisper before we start seeing him making some big damaging plays. Which means, Riv, got to hanker down for a long game.
A long game? No, I don't know what you're talking about. Oh! From a Mega Death Rocket to the face, and he is going to go down. Araneae finds that kill. Aphromoo goes down as well, and when alternate wants something, they take it.
That was actually a little bit surprising. It was a double roam up top, and CLG just got caught in a really bad place. And to add insult to injury, Jree landed his death sentence when the cavalry was already on its way. That was just really well done by alternate.
You can see not too many summoners used by Doublelift and Aphromoo there. They knew that was a sealed fate. They were going down. 12 minutes to the top turret. Dexter is forced to be up top now. This again gives Araneae a free reign. They know where Dexter is, but again, Link with the rotation to the bottom lane, and there is not much crowd control to be had for Kevin, so he could tie his shoes and run this one out pretty well.
Oh, Araneae's trying to save him.
Oh, he punched behind him. Almost being able to save him. Kevin goes down. Now he finds himself in the 2v1. But here comes Kerp from the top lane. Will he be able to scatter and get that ultimate off? Unleash power is ready to be used. They can't get that punch off, and there's no crowd control from Nien. He goes in hard. Tries to get Araneae from the backside and stay with the walk. Forces the flash. And you can see Kerp may not have the damage. The ignite is going to be enough. And he finds Link before he can get out of this situation alive.
Kerp played that one just right. Even though Araneae had to run away, Kerp kept and played defense for him. What ended up happening is Nien thought he saw an opportunity, he baited his teammate Link into it, and it ends up getting Gragas killed.
And Kevin says, no, my lane, let's go. Still, wow, he took a lot of damage just teleporting in. Full HP,
Yeah.
Nien was able to take him down with a few auto attacks and that burnout. Link coming back up, the Athene's finish for him. And we are seeing this Nien actually go for the full damage Shyvana. Maybe he'll go Hydra after that and be crazy for us.
Yeah, that would be a little bit absurd. I think the Blade of the Ruined King is first up for him.
Yeah.
He's trying to use it to directly counter the health stacking that Kevin's going to try and do on Mundo. We'll have to wait and see if that works out. I think it's a pretty bold move considering he's up against Syndra, because if he doesn't go tanky, a lot of Shyvanas would go Spirit Visage first against Mundo. Since he doesn't go tanky, he is opening himself up to getting spiked out by Kerp's Syndra.
Or spiking people out. Yeah, he's
with
probably
Shyvana.
Gold coming back to even just about, and they look to stretch that here. Dexter hitting the undertow very nicely on the max range backside. It looks like they're going to be able to take down Kevin here. Dragon's Descent as they share the kill, but also give one up. The retribution for himself there. We may have a finisher by Gragas.
Yeah, we saw a couple things there. Like, he used his Bilgewater Cutlass active to help that gank happen, but then he died to the turret because he wasn't tanking. Give and take.
Link trying to get his assist on it, but he couldn't get in time. 14:08 on the clock. Araneae back into the opposing jungler's jungle. That's where he lives, your jungle. And he is going to be taking that out. 57-71, and as much time as he's actually been wasting trying to gank, he's down 20 CS, but still putting out the power, the wild growth as well as the Vault, or Salt and Battery rather.
Yeah, and it means they can secure this turret as well for alternates. So I'm not going to say they did it completely alone, because Creaton and Jree had some help from Araneae coming up, but this is the second game in the row where Creaton has had a substantially better laning phase than Doublelift. He's up 31 farm on him right now. Both Doublelift and Aphromoo have taken a death, and it's just Creaton winning once again.
We also see the mid lane stacked up in CS. We said it would be about 20 by 15 minutes, and Kerp has found that. But then again, Link has been roaming. Link has been trying to fuel his team with kills and get them up to par. Kerp finishing the Deathfire grasp here. He is going to be a big problem.
He's all about the single target burst right now. You can see some Syndras go for the death cap because they're looking for more of the team destroy you instantly. And now it's the singular person at this point. If he catches Link in any type of stun combo, he might be able to burst him down with that Deathfire grasp as well.
Blade of the Rune King finished up on Nien. They have swapped the lanes back, so Dragon Control could be the same now. Getting it out Unleash Power is not going to be enough as the Ignite just coming up for Kerp, but I don't think it would have made him follow through.
Yeah, the Ignite wouldn't have quite gotten him the kill. I think he's going to need a bit of magic penetration before that combo is going to work, but that just went and showed you the power of Syndra and why he is keeping Link so far back in the lane.
Dexter walking over a ward once again, but he's doing what he can, trying to be omnipresent for his team. This has given Araneae the chance to stay really away from him instead of in his face, as actually mid and top meet. And this one, Kevin's going to be taking a little bit of damage here. Mid turret goes down. It's the second one. Alternate now. Both games in a row have taken the first turret. Coming in hard. And it looks like, I don't know, not going to slow him.
Cleavers to the face. Keep
all
him alive.
of them.
But it showed you the Blade of the Ruined King definitely gets a lot of damage out of Kevin.
Yep.
That was Nien's Ignite, though, so he won't be able to try a maneuver like that for a while. The Dragon is also up at this point. Maybe we'll see a contention point.
TP is down for Mundo. I don't know if he's going to... Wow, very
that's a nice
scatter.
shot.
Getting the weak. A death sentence. Oh, he pulls him in. He goes downtown on Doublelift. Will he be able to get the kill on this one? Is there anything to finish it up from long range? The rocket misses just on the outside, and they're going to be able to start cleaning this one up. Aphromoo, can he get one more glitter lance? Fires it onto Araneae, and they are able to solidify this kill, but he is going to try to keep them locked up here for Creaton. Not much can be done, though.
And Jree kind of sentenced himself to death when he went for that long ride back into Doublelift. Nobody could finish him off. The rest of CLG actually sandwiched alternate. It meant Kerp couldn't get to the place he wanted, and CLG comes right back here, knowing the Dragon is up, gets a turret, and a little bit more.
That is going to be a lot bit more. They get Dragon, Timer, no ward to come onto this, and they hold the pink in that area for the time to come, which just means the map is now becoming theirs, even though they lost turrets first, as they did in last game, and it didn't turn out the same.
Yeah, let's take a look and see how this fight actually happened. The shot back from Doublelift actually hit the team right into Gragas and Dexter. Then the long jump from Jree overextended him from the team. There was so much protection on Doublelift as well that they couldn't quite finish him off. And then even the Super Mega Death Rocket couldn't finish Doublelift. They end up getting 3 kills all told at the end of this one. A turret and a Dragon. Pretty much everything went CLG's way in that fight.
Now they have the 2,000 gold lead. A lead in the gold is not something that they had last game either. So really turning this one around and finding their bearings a lot earlier.
Yeah, and you know, we didn't think Doublelift was going to be able to do much, and he didn't really. There was alternate overextending on Doublelift that created that fight. Doublelift wasn't doing damage. He didn't even have his Infinity Edge, and he didn't even get a kill on that. If the rest of alternate would have focused more on the primary team fight, I think they could have actually gotten a lot more done.
He's actually still ramping up his rapid fire as well, so he's not getting everything out of that speed steroid just yet. Maxing his E in laning phase and trying to match that level 5 Q with his timing at the Infinity Edge. See, the 2 kills on the team are to Dexter and to Link, so enough to keep the game going, enough to keep the game carried.
4-man dive to a half-health Doublelift right now. Look out!
You may have finished that Infinity Edge, but it may not last long. Oh, a lot was missed by Kerp. Can they still get the kills in on this one? Yes, they can, and the double kill for him working out very well.
There was no escaping that one. Alternate got the jump on CLG, really good roam, and then they didn't need to execute perfectly, but they executed quite well. Kerp got the double kill, and that's all they wanted from that dive.
The trackball plays are real, and they are coming out right now. 6-6 is the score. The gold lead is still held, and CLG is doing this thing. It seems like they're down, but they're up in everything right now. There's a few ultimates, a little bit too much assist, I think, on the pushing him away. Dexter's forced to go a little bit harder than he wants, but it's not stopped. Very nice job getting in and out. He may be able to finish by a Q. Kerp doesn't follow it up. Oh, waiting on the cooldown and the undertow to keep him alive.
Oh, but Araneae is going for him as well. Are they going to get him stuck?
He got the scat of the week. Nien's just on the other side, and Nien had drawn the whole party with him. Nien to turn on the burnout. Araneae cannot follow up.
So he did go too hard because it ended up costing him his
little
life.
bit.
But at least we got some more excitement out of it. It's now 5 kills onto Kerp, 3 kills onto Dexter, and this game has gotten quite interesting.
20 minutes in, even across the board as that last turret has just gone down. The mid turret's now falling. We have to remember that mid turret going down for CLG last game pretty much cost them the entire mid game. Stopping that is really allowing them to put these fights out. Pushing now Araneae out of the jungle. Before, that was them getting their buff stolen and a whole lot of chaos.
Well, that was a nice steal by Alternate right there because they were able to get it right out of Link's hands before he was able to collapse in behind them. Trying to take stock of really what's happening in this game. I feel like Alternate needs to make some plays sooner rather than later. They're kind of getting dictated to by CLG right now. Dexter's ganks have been much more successful this match, and Araneae's have been much less, especially since Kerp is at a very strong point in the game right now. He's finished 2 of his magic penetration items to go with his Deathfire Grasp. He can kill pretty much anyone on the map right now, and the rest of Alternate needs to kind of go with him and try and make more plays happen. It's this awkward part in the game where both teams have 3 turrets down. So you can chase quite long distances and you can catch people in a lot of open field.
And even Alternate this game is staying much more in a laning phase. CLG was kind of forced into this last time, but you can see everybody's still farming in their regular lanes instead of Alternate 4-manning something as they just did bottom. They went back. They're not 4-manning mid anymore. They were all pushing mid turret by this time last game, and then it slowed down. Here, they're not as sure.
And Alternate is not falling for this little trick. No one's close to you guys.
The upper Fnatic
you should just back away. At this point, Double's going to farm up a little more. He's still far behind Creaton's Jinx. Although Creaton's went with a much different build than Doublelift did. He's going Bloodthirster to Phantom Dancer. That's actually not something you hardly ever see anymore. You'll usually see a Bloodthirster to Static Shiv or an Infinity Edge to a Phantom Dancer, but not that combination because it's not a super strong lane push and it's not the most damage.
Kevin getting a little bit of harassed. Whoa, Dragon's Descent going down. He sees the damage that he's got out. Blade of the Rune King has already been used, so the speed up is going to help Kevin get away here. Fully utilized. Nien putting himself in some sticky situations, and the team cannot push anything off of it.
Yeah, Nien got a little ahead of himself right there. If the rest of CLG was doing something, it would have been a great distraction, but he was completely on his own there behind enemy lines, and he got no support.
Just taking a look at the cams, seeing how much these teams are communicating. Can see a bit of chatter on the side of Alternate, getting the kills, saying nice job. Not too many strats here. Both of the teams, I think, are kind of just playing the let's feel out what the other team is doing. And this is what it really started to come down to at 40 minutes, but these teams are feeling it now.
Yeah, 22 minutes in this time. Gold is still even. Link put a barrel on a ward. Decided to sit around. His item build is coming along, though. He's got his Death Cap on Gragas. He's not necessarily safe of getting spiked out by Kerp right now. And what CLG is hoping to do is catch Alternate prepping for Dragon by beating them to the spot, but Dexter kind of gave away CLG's cards there.
Just want to get full vision, eyes on everybody on the team. It's too dangerous to push one of these turrets without having wards on your entry to the jungle on either side. Really nice damage going down onto the Dragon right now. Doublelift actually has that seal and critical cloak out, so he will start to put out some big damage if he can get those shots. And Dragon's down to half. Alternate's going to force them right off of this one.
It's a smite
well
battle.
within range of the smite. It actually just goes to Kevin on that one as the smites go down. Araneae didn't even get to that time, but they do get out, and with smiles.
Dexter smited, but it was Mundo Cleaver that ended up getting it, and they end up not fighting each other. Really curious circumstance right there. You could tell neither team wanted to fully commit. There's a lot of displacement on CLG with the Gragas ultimate and the Buster Shot from Tristana, and that's not something Araneae really was willing to jump into.
You almost can't. Neither can Nien, or rather, Nien cannot jump in. Neither can Dexter, because you get that unleashed power. Kerp's going to take somebody out, and nobody can follow up. That's one of the scariest things. It literally, everybody needs a Spirit Visage right now, and a lot more health.
And they're working on it. You can see the Kindle Gem on both of the tanks for CLG.
Yep.
Even the Spectre's Cowl for Nien. The Spirit Visage is definitely going to be his first item.
Dang, I was really hoping for that Hydra Jack.
The Blade of the Ruined King Hydra Shyvana build. Just go mess somebody
Hey man,
up.
it happens in gold, all right? Teams both coming up on 40K. We'll see what the inventories hold for everybody. Who really has the most cash right now? It was Doublelift around this point in time as he started to get kills. 8,800, 10,000 though in the hands of Kerp, as we do see him at 6-1-0. Nothing can stop him right now. They have to utilize that power in these fights.
Look at that teleport from Kevin. He's trying to block Link from jumping away, but the Lulu wall saves the day.
And that was one of my favorite things that Araneae actually mentioned about Mundo when we were in Europe. And he says, Mundo isn't the person that runs into the fight and helps. He's the guy that teleports, and once he's in the fight, then you know it's already over because he's in the fight.
Yeah, once he makes it to the fight. But that one was over. He just couldn't keep him involved. He was not able to stay in front of Lincoln.
Yeah, nobody wants to stay when you hear that noise. Especially not once he's got that Sunfire Spirit Visage as well, so he's going to be able to run around Burning Agony Sunfire on. Right now he'll tend to top lane as well as Shyvana. The Bruiser Wet Spaghetti Noodle battle will begin in just a few minutes.
Well, they got to be a little careful because Doublelift's starting to get some of his items. Infinity Edge 2, the Phantom Dancer. We might see this fight over blue though because COD's got more people. It got stolen away.
No.
Kidnap.
They really... Oh, wait! He got it!
Was it worth the ultimate though? Doublelift jumps in.
Oh, whoa! Doublelift cleanses off the rest of whatever damage was coming towards him. Aphromoo looking to help him with one more shield, and here they go on to Creaton. He's forced to use the barrier. That's going to be a lot of damage he's got coming towards him, and it's going to be enough to take him down. Dexter will follow, and it's going to be Link trying to get away. The big man has blue buff, and he should be able to body slam to safely here. Safety? If he's got enough? I don't know. He went the other way. He went the other way, and it looks like he's hooked in. Hook, line, and sinker.
3 kills right there for Alternate, and CLG's trying to push to compensate for this one. That was not a good fight for CLG. You could tell Alternate just landed all the spells.
Once they start getting their full team up and they get to these turrets, their siege potential is immense. 2-man turret take. Kevin didn't even make it from top to bottom lane, so if the rotation is right, CLG will start to gain a lot on this push.
And it was yet more kills on to Kerp. That guy is getting so immensely powerful right now. Let's take another look at why this one happened. Doublelift was way overzealous jumping in, and he never re-engaged to the fight. That's a very important thing right here. That means when Link and Dexter went down to finish off Creaton and Jree, that the alternate collapse could finish them off, because normally CLG was kind of expecting Doublelift to help them out there. He was just too low, and that meant the rest of alternate could just chase down Link and Dexter since they were the ones to overcommit for a kill.
Very well played.
Got hit by another.
Making sure you waste the most amount of time if you know you're going down. Chase me, chase me.
And they did get a turret out of it.
Yeah.
So a push and pull there in that fight, but mostly won by alternate.
Still down in gold and down in kills. It's swayed, not still, I should say. It's swayed back the other way. They do have the turrets in their advantage, and right now it seems up to the base. That's exactly what's going to get you these games. All that potential gold sitting on the map. It's what really put alternate ahead last game. They got mid, they stole the buffs, and took everything else they could on the map. Kills need to start coming in for CLG, though.
Yeah, you can see COD's trying to hold off, but Doublelift.
Whoa! Ooh. He like shot between his legs while he was jumping. That was nice.
Fancy.
Yeah, it was real fancy.
Yeah. Doublelift with the moves.
Let's see if he can do it again. I think it was lucky.
He's got to wait for the cooldown. He's still trying to farm up, though. Yet to get a kill. You can see he's off in split push mode. COD's one of the few teams to use their 80 carries as split pushers.
Yeah.
Aphromoo's trying to support him a little bit, because if a Mundo came for him at this point in the game, he would need a little help getting away. And since CLG is actually down their 3 outer turrets, it's a little bit more difficult for Alternate to push in on them as well. We're still kind of in this, I want to call it an extended mid-game, because ever since the teams got the 3 outer turrets down on both sides, they've really struggled to gain any type of advantage, and it's keeping the big open battlefield going.
And a big advantage, at least CLG shut down early, it's good to see they cleaned this mistake up, was that laning phase in the AD carry portion of it. Jree is not 6-0-5 this game, and they are ultimately faring better at the 25-minute mark. They're more aggressive. Nien going into the jungle alone here. They feel like they can create a lot more.
And they're just committing for this. All 5 members of CLG are down here, but they used a whole bunch and got almost no damage down. So CLG's got to kind of run away of this one, even though they're 5v4.
Araneae says, get out of here. One last punch to the group before they head out. Good damage, though. It's a bit of poke from the team that looks more melee, and it's working out for him.
And Mundo's trying to get around behind him. If Kevin could somehow close, this could be a good fight for Alternate.
Oh, Dexter, the wild growth is already down. That means they don't have the save. Doublelift has to play extra careful here. Kevin taking a good amount of damage as he throws down that Mundo ultimate, and the health bars of CLG just get absolutely shredded. Falling one after the other. Mundo on the front line, a double kill, the triple kill to come in here. Creaton actually picks that one up over the shoulder of Kevin, and they look fierce on that.
And there's plenty more for them to take after that one. You can see Alternate was just ready to go once they saw CLG burn their skills beforehand. CLG has nothing to fight them with here. Dexter gets locked down, but the big thing is when Syndra arrives to this fight. He gets the stun on 3, combos it with the Q and the ult, just everything. And then CLG had nowhere to run. Kevin finished off the rest of them because there's no stopping a Mundo once he's in a fight, and Alternate takes everything afterwards.
The fight up till now did not write that story. It did not say somebody was going to handily win a fight. That should have been back and forth, but it was so well played by Alternate. They also grabbed Baron coming off of that one. They get the first Baron last game, secured it this game, and CLG will do again what they can to keep those dragons in their favor. Stick in.
Yeah, I just can't say enough about the opportunistic nature of Alternate's fight there. We knew that Alternate kind of had to make something happen in this game, since Doublelift Tristana was actually farming fairly well after the laning phase ended. And then as soon as CLG showed 5 bottom, used a Lulu ult, used a Shyvana ult as well, it meant that there was no way CLG could realistically turn and fight. And as long as Alternate could get in range, they'd be able to win. And they just really brute forced their way in there. That wasn't a fight, it was just a catch.
No, and when you look at the levels, it really tells you why. A level 17 Kerp, Dexter just hit 14. Link is still 16. Doublelift is 15. There's almost 3 to 4 levels of an average between these guys. I'd say 3. But that is huge. That means your abilities are wiping people out faster than they should.
Yeah, and they're just going to continue this push now if they have the Baron buff. They have Jinx, who's a better tower sieger by far to Lucian last game, and they're just going to be able to poke with the Syndra and the Jinx and take as many outer turrets as they can.
That's when Ragnarok is not a deterrent for an engagement. They will just continuously go onto you. They are ready to fight these. Looking at the inhibitor turret now, not much is going to keep them from stopping this. Kerp trying to put out the damage. He throws out a Doublelift. Holy macaroni, Doublelift. Didn't have to cleanse that one off, but does keep himself alive. The rocket! Oh, Dexter catches that one before it hits the end zone. And Alternate, it was looking for blood right now.
Yeah, if they could have gotten Doublelift down, they would have taken a lot more. But then Link fired back and actually got Kerp to just as low the amount of health. So that'll repel that push for now.
They have to know now, Kerp will walk inside your base alone and try to kill your AD carry. They shouldn't be standing that close. These guys are telegraphing that they really aren't giving any respect to the defense of CLG right now.
I gotta hand it to Kerp. He's played fantastic in both of these games so far. Really, mid lane just seems to suit him so well right now.
And especially to be one of the players that swapped. Like you say, mid lane suits him so well. Was the top laner. 9-1-3 versus a veteran mid laner.
Yes.
And 319 CS, so just above and beyond right now. Very well played. 15-8, 33 minutes in. It doesn't look like they're stopping whatsoever. The teleport comes in as well, and we have Doublelift trying to push.
What's he doing?
As they're getting on inhibitor turrets.
Doublelift is just nowhere to be found. This fight will be lost by CLG.
Dexter getting hit up pretty hard here. He tries to do what damage he can, but the bars Health bars of Alternate not even budging on this one. Doublelift looking to pick up potential gold for his team, but it can't be an entire base. Alternate's looking to do that.
Doublelift is going to try and push as long as possible right here, but Alternate has just mopped the floor with them so far. It's an inhibitor down. Do they stop or do they try to recall? Because Doublelift is still going.
They don't have much displace. The ulti's down from Gragas. He can only polymorph one person, and there's more damage than that. Doublelift looks for the turret, and it looks like they hang their heads on this one. No, comes back now. Doublelift gets into the base. Creaton getting hit up quite hard. He's forced to jump out of this, has the red buff on, and they keep this going.
Link is just trying to keep them trapped in the base. What a ridiculous fight right now. Alternate gets away with the Nexus turret and a kill onto Link.
Alternate is going to move out. They're going to slow things down, but this just showed that they are ready to take the game. The Battle of the Atlantic was way in their favor once they started the second game because of the momentum.
Well, they had a very close game here. They've really just been playing this ever since about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Absolutely flawlessly. And CLG made a big mistake there. Doublelift should not have been in that bottom lane split push. With his inhibitor on the line like that, staying as well and not expecting Alternate to have the balls to just push through for the Nexus turret, a huge miscalculation.
With this experience being spread out now, level 14 Dexter to his counterpart, 16 Araneae in the jungle, he's not going to level as fast as he needs to. These are the guys that are getting pulled in, the ones that are supposed to break chaos in the fight and continue it. They're the ones that are dying first, and there can't be a follow-up after that. CLG is in a pretty bad spot right now, and they need to hold out like they did last game.
Yeah, well, this game CLG is not nearly as down in gold, but
that's true. It was about
also
10,000.
Kerp wasn't as farmed at this point in the game.
No, but that was Creaton last game.
Yeah. As well, this time Creaton is on Jinx, so that's going to help him substantially. Once he completes that Infinity Edge, he'll be doing just as much, if not more, than Doublelift once the kills start coming down, because he can just get excited on Jinx and chain around a fight, much like Doublelift would want to with his rocket jump refreshing every time he gets a kill or assist. It's going to be a, you know, we're kind of in a situation where we were last game, where CLG has to hold off. And even though the gold is much closer, I feel like Alternate is just as much ahead.
See what Araneae can continue to do. Playing two different styles of jungle. More gank and counter-oriented last game, really messing up Dexter's jungle. The fact that Alternate has always had eyes on Dexter has really could be attributed to the laning phase and why it's so safe for them.
Yeah, and Araneae has gotten so much assist bonus gold. That's another kind of new thing that junglers can get more farmed off of. He's getting 60 extra gold on every assist right here, actually, because he's got so many more kills than us, or assists than kills. Oh dear. That was 2 spells.
Oh, coming around the backside. They're going to try to initiate this. That was a great Gragas ult, but nobody's on the follow-up. Again, it was just to disperse. Nien trying to do what he can here. Link on the backside, holding up the damage. Creaton very low. That's what they needed. It's going to be Dexter wreaking havoc now. He's got it going down. That lower the HP goes, the faster he swings, but they can't take down the Kevin once again. Araneae there. The Baz brothers to go back in. Will it be able to happen? Nien and Dexter looking for kills.
Where's he going?
One last undertow, and he won't be able to chuck it. They need it for Kevin. They need it to thwart this up. Kevin flashes, Burning Agony and Sunfire Cape isn't enough. Can Dexter spellvamp this back? Oh my god, they stay alive in the turret. A third member finally thwarts him off the fight.
Everyone died except the tanks, and then they played for a little while and decided to run away from each other. But that was a very condensed fight, I have to say. It was a good hold by CLG because they couldn't have gotten away with anything else. Because Kerp was actually forward in this fight and decided to blow his burst on Aphromoo, it meant CLG actually got an initiation that they pretty much wanted. Watch the 80 carries as well. Doublelift got dove on by Araneae, and Link was able to get onto Jinx. So at that point, all the squishies have kind of traded themselves for themselves, and then once Dexter finished off Jree, there's just a couple tanks playing with each other here.
I gotta give props there. Jree's Thresh Flay on the Dragon Descent popped him right down into the Flame Chompers, and they negated all that
Could
damage.
have saved a lot of trouble. CLG may have came out of that one a lot better off if Jree wouldn't have pulled off that play.
See the 3,000 gold starting to sway just a little bit. What they want is backup, but we've heard about the Gragas on the red side. This is a little bit more dangerous of a steal to try and take.
Yeah, they can't actually do Baron if Gragas is in range with spells. It's far too dangerous. He would spike much more damage than Araneae would be able to smite.
They know it. They pulled off it a lot more than they engaged in that fight last time. They were already punching Baron in the face. Kevin with teleport up, heading back down towards the bottom lane, so they utilize that pressure again as the game gets later. He is ready to start being chaotic.
Well, he has his teleport up, so CLG is trying to force a play right here.
Yeah, they have to back.
I don't know if this is the right idea for CLG. They're trying to push forward here, and Kevin can take these down. As long as CLG doesn't find a clean initiation, there's no stopping that Dr. Mundo.
No minion wave for them to push right now. They're in a pushed lane, which really just gives time for Alternate to set up and Mundo to see exactly where they are. They're going to actually trail back through a set of wards as well. He still has vision.
And they're going right for Baron this time, so they're either forcing a 4v5 in the Baron pit or they're making Kevin teleport in. This is going to be a really interesting play. He's going for an inhibitor, but he's going to have to TP in if he wants to stop this Baron.
This is almost like the Hail Mary last-ditch effort. They have to turn the talisman as Ascension goes off. Dexter throws out the ultimate immediately. All they have to do is wait for that. Another ultimate is taken down.
Oh, Mundo's
they
in.
are flexing their muscles, and nobody's there to see it. Doublelift gets focused on. There goes the Vault Breaker. Assault Battery right back out. And it looks like they are going to be just bundled up inside the box right now. Dexter and Nien are holding off. Good HP on them still, but it's ticking down on them. They can't last forever.
So a lot of disengaging in that fight. Doublelift hit his friend back over the blue buff area, but then just kind of stood there because he wasn't arranged to shoot anybody. That was a very interesting fight. Only the tanks were really taking damage, and since they've all built mostly full tank, they couldn't get at each other. Now it's Alternate's turn to get the Baron. I don't know if CLG can make it back in time. Link does not have his ultimate to steal.
The Zanyas is down. Randuin's is up for the side of CLG as well as Alternate, but they just have too much damage. Can't even make it from home base.
Yep. Alternate definitely outplayed CLG there. They got CLG low from the initial engagement, and then they were able to headily just take the Baron because they knew they were all healthy enough and they knew how fast they could kill it.
Jree already starting to build that tank as the Crucible comes out again on the side of Aphromoo, focusing on keeping the team safe before themselves a lot of times, trying to always focus Doublelift. It's the late game, he's Tristana, and they really put it as a priority.
The items are starting to get there too.
Yeah.
You can see Creaton is actually much stronger. Well, no, never mind. Did not see that Bloodthirster in there. They're very close in items at this point. It's a Negatron Cloak to a Spectre's Cowl. And if Doublelift is to be believed, he says nothing matches late game Tristana. But I think Jinx is right there with them. Like, they're incredibly similar. I almost think Jinx is a little bit stronger. So Alternate, I think, is still in a very good spot in this match.
Definitely. Both champions give that ability to outplay. We'll have to see who has the hands warmed up for this matchup now. 42 minutes in, just shy of our last game's time. 21-13 means these teams have no problem taking each other out to get that next objective. 7-5. Only leaves 5 more turrets on the map here for CLG. Aphromoo going very, very low. One more shot. 957 crit coming out from Creaton there. They look onto the inhibitor now. Nien just on the outside. All he can do is focus Kerp. Everybody just takes down the inhibitor, walks through.
Aphromoo is trying to make a play there. Doublelift gets hit by a stun, and here's the fight.
Gonna be Nien trying to make his way. Again, Dragon's Descent used to pretty much half engage the fight, more for the flexing of the muscles. One Nexus turret stands, and this looks like the last game here for CLG. They're back against the walls, trying to make their way out.
This is a tough push to make for Alternate. There are some home guard boots on CLG. We're going to see it here.
Last-ditch effort going in to get onto Kerp. Big damage is going to be coming in. If Kerp can get its reckless swing out, he will be able to take him down. It is going to be Kerp on the ground. Dexter doing his job. Double kill coming in here for Creaton, and he starts to rack up those kills. Triple kill for Creaton. 8-3-8 on the end of the game. The Battle of the Atlantic sways the next way to the even, and it looks like it is going to be taken by Alternate here in the second game. 2 clean sweep against CLG.
And it was Creaton at the end of the day that just rolled through the CLG lineup. A very happy Araneae in there, giving some hugs to his new top laner, Kevin. Alternate upsets, I'd have to say, CLG 2-0.
Definitely not something I believe the fans expected.
Well, not the fans here. We had a very heavy
absolutely.
CLG favorite fan here. The pre-roll videos had Dexter saying 2-0, but
Yeah.
man, Alternate came out strong. Mundo, both games for
Had to
Kevin.
be respected.
Creaton and Jree just beat up Doublelift and Aphromoo for 45 minutes in each game. It was a very impressive showing by Alternate.
Definitely have to be a happy crew right now. Our matchup, the melee in the mid lane of Kerp versus Link. Link coming out of 2 splits here. Kerp seeing him move down from the top lane. And I think it really just said he played exceptional.
Oh, he played out of his mind. He started that game 8-1 on Syndra. For such a back and forth first game, his Gragas was also completely dominating. That was a very sharp looking alternate team.
They had different strategies for what they wanted to do. Like we said, Araneae was counter jungling and ganking in the first game. The second game just kind of consisted of counter jungling, and they knew where Dexter was the whole time. They played per the situation.
A huge amount of ganking from Araneae too. He was 3-1-18, part of 21 of the 26 team kills. Extremely involved. That's kind of been his role on that team. It's generally a team of like back in its foundation, like the highest elo and highest rated players in Challenger. And then Araneae, who's never been that high as far as the other guys are. But it's because he knows team play. He communicates more than anyone else, and he helps the other guys out. And that's what he did in that one.
Diamond was gold when they picked him up. Diamond Prox. So go figure. One of the best